I was speaking to our members about the challenges that we as a government have been through. I took responsibility for mistakes that have been made in terms of COVID management, and I spoke very clearly to the primary issue that has created some division in my party, and that is public health restrictions. There's no secret that that has been a point of division in the government caucus and within the party. If you were watching the Bear Pit yesterday, you would see that almost all of the critical questions directed to the government revolved around vaccines, the restriction exemption program, and public health measures. So that is the nub of it. People may have other things that they thought the government could or should have done better. I could make up my own list for sure of those things. But fundamentally, I spoke about the issue, the elephant in the room that has been really difficult in a party where we have a lot of people whose primary motive in politics is to defend individual liberty. So these have been really tough decisions for a coalition like that. But my message was that I did hear people on that respectfully. I was listening. But at the end of the day, we had to take responsible decisions to avoid a total catastrophe in the healthcare system. For me, one of the most important moments of the past year was to see that appeal responded to with a standing ovation from the people assembled yesterday. I got the sense that the vast majority of members of this party understand that while we may have made mistakes through COVID, that the government has sought a balanced approach and led when necessary to protect the healthcare system. So I found that very encouraging. Well, it was a lot more than 50% of the people in that room who were on their feet, I think, affirming what I had to say to the party in the province. We saw, I think, a very positive result for party unity in the board elections. And I've spoken to hundreds of delegates here, haven't encountered a single negative comment or sentiment. So all I can say is, from my perspective, I'm very happy with the positivity, the sense of unity. You know, this could have gone in lots of different ways, and you guys could have had a much easier story to write. I frankly was getting cold feet a month ago about holding this meeting altogether. I just thought with all the COVID complexities, it might be hard to get even a few hundred people together in this hall. We had 1,600. Like, we exceeded our planning by a factor of 100% in terms of the actual delegates that showed up. You know, I'm sure a bunch of you were loaded for all sorts of conflict on the floor that didn't happen. So what we saw, I think, was in an extraordinary and difficult time, we saw a record turnout of grassroots Conservatives getting reconnected as a family, focused on Albertans' business with a spirit of positivity. I don't expect you'll ever be at a party convention where 100% of people agree on 100% of things, including leadership. That's not our expectation. But what happened here far exceeded my best expectations. Well, I spoke to that yesterday. I welcome the chance at accountability next spring. It's normal to have a leadership review. I embrace that. And I tell you, I feel more confident about my leadership today than, frankly, I have in a very long time, after having had a chance to to encounter our grassroots members directly, person to person. You know, I think one of the aspects, as I've said, the primary division in our party over the past 20 months has revolved around COVID policy. And I had a chance to address that directly yesterday. But I think one of the problems with the COVID period has been that so much of kind of the commentary has been on and through social media. And I think social media tends to massively exaggerate anger. What you saw here were a lot of severely normal Albertans getting together, and I think they much more closely reflect the attitude of grassroots Conservatives across Alberta than angry Facebook posts do.